Hey there. We're back to finish chapter 19. So we are left off with Rump and the trolls, and he's having a conversation with them about the apple tree. Bork leaned over the fire to speak to me. He had much hair on his arms, as much hair on his arms as I did on my head. "It's poisoned," he said. "You could have died, or worse. You should thank us." "Thank you?" I said. "Two sludge," said Bork, lifting his cup, "and no poison apples." The rest of the trolls grunted, "Two sludge," and they slurped down their drinks. Then they all watched me expectantly. I guess I had to drink it or be considered impolite. What did trolls do with impolite guests? I put it to my mouth and took a sip. It tasted like rotten vegetables, and it was slimy, and I think I swallowed a worm. The trolls all smiled and nodded. "Ah, that's the stuff. Sets you up for life. Makes you big and strong." I wanted to ask more questions, partly because I was curious, but mostly so I wouldn't have to drink more of the sludge. "What do you know? How do you know the apples are poisoned?" One poisoned apple seemed believable, but an entire tree of them was strange. "Oh, the apples again?" said Deerhorns. "We best tell him the story, shouldn't we? You tell it, Bork." "Why me? You tell it, Slop." "You found the boy," said Deerhorns, "or Slop, and you make the story sound so pretty." Bork grumbled under his breath, but when he started speaking, his voice was low and dramatic. "A long time ago, there was a witch, see? She was the queen of some other kingdom, far from here, beyond yonder, beyond even. She tried to kill her stepdaughter because she was jealous of her beauty. Gran used to tell me this story, and it was one of my favorites. The girl ran away and lived with dwarves. But the witch queen found her out and fed her a poisoned apple, one that would make her fall asleep forever. But it didn't work because a prince woke with her true love's first kiss and all that, and she lived happily ever after with her prince. That was where Gran's story ended, but Bork kept going and told a story I didn't know. But the witch's poisoned apple didn't die. The dwarves, careless creatures, threw it down the mountain and it fell in the dirt. Soon that apple was dirt itself, but the seeds didn't turn to dirt. Those seeds took root and grew into an apple tree. A magical poison apple tree. "Magic?" I said. "How do you know it's magic?" The trolls shifted and looked around. "Because," said Slop, and he scratched at his horns, "the fruit is ripe year-round." "What but magic could make it ripe all year long?" They all nodded and grunted in agreement, but I sensed there was something they weren't telling me. "So, if I ate the apples, I would have fallen asleep forever?" I asked. "Until true love's first kiss, maybe." That sounded as good as dead to me. True love was for fair princesses and maidens and knights in shining armor. The only girl I was even friends with was Red, and I think she rather hit me in the face than kiss me. Maybe she would punch me awake. "Have you ever seen someone eat those apples?" "No," said Bork. "Then how do you know that they're poison?" Something about those apples intrigued me. "A deer ate those apples once," said Slop. "I saw him, and the next day we found him dead." He rubbed the horns on his helmet. "Wolves got him, Slop," said Bork. "Those weren't wolves. Those apples ate him from the inside out." "Enough about death and fruit," said Mard. "Eat your sludge." The trolls all got busy slurping and snorting, and so I did my best to blend in by holding my cup to my lips. Every now and then, I spilled a little behind me until my cup was empty. But, unluckily for me, trolls are very hospitable, and Mard took my cup and plunged it into the pot of sludge. She handed it back to me with sludge dripping down the sides. "You need more meat on you. Eat." I ate another worm. It wriggled down my throat. "So," said another troll, as he slurped the last of his sludge, "this one looked very old. All the trolls had wrinkles, but this one's skin had wrinkles inside of wrinkles, and his tangled hair was streaked with white. I heard the king got married." "King Bartholomew married?" said Bork. "Who would marry such an ugly thing?" "I heard the girl can make things gold." "Straw," I said. "She makes straw into gold." "A witch," said Slop, the horn troll. "The king married a witch." I can smell the trouble from here. I wouldn't get within 10 steps of that witch, said Bork. Well, people don't come within 10 steps of us, and we're not bad, said another troll. The witch who made the apple was bad, said Bork. Others grunted their agreements. I wondered if my mother's family in yonder were all witches. Were they nice witches or mean witches? Maybe Mother was running from them. But they're not all bad, are they? I asked. Some witches try to help. Witches don't help, said Mard. They just make more trouble. You would know, said a big troll, and Mard whacked him on the back of the head with her club-like arm. He whacked her back. Then all the trolls started whacking each other, and they rolled and wrestled on the ground. I stood quickly, spilling sludge all down my shirt. A couple of trolls came very near the fire, and sparks flew up in the air before they rolled away laughing in their grunty, snorty way. It seemed this was common troll after-dinner play. I looked on as the trolls wrestled and snorted and punched each other, almost enjoying the scene, until one troll suddenly sank down into the ground beneath some leaves. All the trolls gasped. Quickly, they hauled the troll out and began shoveling leaves over the place where he had fallen. Mard waddled over to me and tried to turn me around, but then another troll slipped on the edge. Soon, the entire mass of leaves was scattered, revealing something the trolls did not want me to see. I broke away from Mard. Beneath the leaves was a hole, and in the hole was a huge stash of curious objects, a boot, a mirror, lots of little boxes and trinkets that looked old and valuable, a coil of golden rope that looked oddly like hair, a shimmering cloak, and a golden harp. The harp was playing all by itself. So, looks like the trolls have a little secret of their own. You'll find out more when we read tomorrow's chapter. Trolls smell, but they also smell. All right, boys and girls, talk to you soon. Bye.